Alright, so let's bring back to good old Jamaica, and we have another missing persons that, again, there's just a lot of sinister, spooky things that are happening on Jam Down, but let's just cover it out. So, we're focusing on Omario Williams, and let's go into what happened to this young man. 17-year-old Omario Williams has been missing since last Friday, September 17th. The teenager who resides at Stadium Gardens in Kingston has not been seen by family members since he left work for halfway 3 that morning. Quote to quote, the usual story is like his phone has been unanswered, nobody knows where to find him, and the rest of his family are just wondering what happened to him. He's of dark complexion, medium build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Reports from Stadium Gardens police are about that 3:15 p.m. Williams was last seen in Eastwood Park Road in the parish has not been heard from since. All efforts to locate him proven futile. And basically saying that describes him as someone who's of good character and so on, that this guy had a bright future or whatever, and no, and again, is this going to be a waiting game? Are they going to find him alive, or are they going to find him not alive, or are they going to find him at all, regardless of what condition he's in, dead or alive? Because we've seen this story play out so many times before in Jamaica and the rest of the diaspora. Though, is just that there's obviously a case where, hey, when some person goes missing, you're going to be lucky. You have to be very lucky that that person arrives alive, comes back alive in one piece. Because these are the three outcomes is going to be. And the worst part is that outcome number 3 is likely going to happen. That I won't even go into remind what outcome number 3 usually is, because you usually see these statements though, but it is very obvious if foul play was involved. I mean, let's go a case where he said to run away and just lay low with some other people. That if foul play is involved, is or so on. Is it because a problem he had with somebody, or is it that somebody, people or party who are likely responsible for his disappearance, had a grievance with somebody close to him, and that they're trying to send a message to that other person through Omario Williams. Now, I say this to say that remember in Jamaica, like the so-called system and our so-called society does not care about ordinary Jamaican citizens. The fact that this is not making major news headlines is very telling within itself, because this is like when the many other records that covered a lot of people go missing. These are usually at best a 1 week or lucky a 2 week story, and then everybody just goes about their business, because you're not going to see too many so-called celebrities in Jamaica. You're not going to see a lot of these human rights groups, the church, or any of these people would influence and so on talk about Omario Williams, like many of the other countless ordinary Jamaican civilians who go missing. Because at the end of the day, we're part of we're so desensitized to stuff like this that is just a drop in the bucket at this point. Or it's just that there's this overall indifference in saying, yeah, there's a priority scale we have in Jamaica that certain lives matter, and those lives that don't matter are usually most average Jamaican civilians, and so on. No, I say this to say, I don't know this kid. I've never met him. I can't say what kind of character is. And his family saying this and that may or may not be true, because we all know maybe quick case that Omario was probably involved in some people, dangerous people, did some things, and this is pretty much the end result of the bad company or bad activities he kept up. I do not know the whole truth, but this is not even about this kid per se, because this has just been happening way too much. But again, Jamaica, due to our decision to lay in bed with the crime devil, or the crime god, or whatever, or a crime demon, this is the lack of apathy or care about someone like Omario Williams is basically very telling. Because yeah, as I said before, when I do calls like this, it's going to be a week or 2 before another person in that same predicament is going to make the headlines in a big or small way, and then not much is going to change, because I'm pretty sure people around that area also know what I'm saying, but they're not talking, not because or so on, whether it's fair or like they just indifference. But This is we most Jamaicans. We should be banging the drum hard about this, so we can prevent more and more disappearances like this from happening. And again, I'm not saying to say that I knew this kid or that this kid was of good repute or had a good moral character. I do not know. But at the end of the day, that this should be worrying a lot of Jamaicans. But then again, most of us decided, hey, you know what? We don't give a shit about our own people too. So this is just going to go. This is going to be go down the memory hole because by the end of this week, they're not even going to be thinking of Omario Williams. And if the worst comes to pass, we're not really. There's not going to move us to really start saying that we need to make sure there are less Omario Williams. I want to be wrong. Have I been wrong so far? No, but it is important to do recordings like this because there need to be more Jamaicans who are not cowards. Alright, let's keep it a buck. Who need to be banging drums about what happened to when Jamaican civilians have sinister and spooky circumstances happen to them because his family most likely think that this is going to happen to him unless they're involved in some stuff or I don't know. The next person's family is going to say the same thing too when it's one of their loved ones who goes off the radar under very dark and nefarious circumstances. And that's all I have to say. We just hope that this is resolved and that in the long run this trend starts to reverse because it needs to be. So it's for Stay to Jamaica in the Caribbean. Check out my other YouTube pages, Miles Goodson Farron, Miles Productions, Real Thoughts and Miles. Alright.